Thanks for joining me on today's episode of the Simply Financial Podcast. I'm your host, Christopher Calandra. Want to increase your financial IQ with today's episode, where I discuss some research I saw recently that discusses the average retirement ages in the United States. I think it's pretty favorable. I read an article on Yahoo Finance, then did some research, and I want to start with a study in 2022 by Gallup. It was actually a poll, and it suggests that the average retirement age is 61 years old. This combines both men and women. Traditionally, women on average retire a little earlier than men, but the average is 61 according to this 2022 Gallup poll. A second study I'll cite is the Retirement Confidence Survey, and that found that the median retirement age was 62. Keeping in mind, it's tough to get like an exact number, but it looks as though, based on this research and other articles and studies I've seen, that it appears the average age is around 61, 62 years old. Of course, if you're a listener to the show or you work with the team and I here at Elliott Wealth Management, there are many, many factors that go into deciding when to retire. This includes, of course, healthcare costs, which is why a lot of people wait until age 65, because that is when you can go on Medicare, and that solves most of the big concerns regarding healthcare coverage. This age, 61, 62, seems about right to me. I think it's pretty encouraging statistic. Keeping in mind, there are many, many people that retire earlier because they can financially and they want to. That's a pretty good recipe for success. There are many, many others that can retire financially if they wanted to, but they choose to work for any number of reasons. Socialization, they feel fulfilled, small business owner wanting to pass it down to the next generation, to give a few examples. The most unfortunate group are those that would like to retire but cannot afford to do so. That is by far the most I feel bad for that group of people. Now, sometimes people in this category made a series of bad decisions that resulted in this. Other times it could be just life being particularly hard, a little unlucky, maybe a healthcare issue or something of the like. But I will tell you, I find it very fulfilling to help people to avoid being in that third category, the category where you would like to retire but cannot afford to do so. I find that to be a pretty sad outcome. And I love helping people make smart financial decisions, assisting them in their efforts to build wealth and to help them win with money. This is the great part of my job as a certified financial planner. I've been doing this for over 30 years, and it is one of the most fulfilling parts of my role. I had a conversation with a client just yesterday, and she's closing in on retirement. And we've been working on her plan for a few years now. And it's unfolded a little differently than we would have expected. It's gotten pushed back for some good reasons, not so much financially, some job-related stuff, some health-related stuff. But she and I were talking, and I shared with her exactly the sentiment I just shared with you, how excited I was to be working with her as she's in the home stretch getting ready to retire. And I was looking forward to see how it plays out for her, because we have a great plan and I want to see her enjoy the next chapter of her life. So that's today's episode, a bit shorter than usual. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast, the Simply Financial Podcast, please do so. Of course, I would appreciate it if you'd recommend it to a friend or someone you know that listens to podcasts, even geeky ones like this. So thanks for listening today. I'll be back with you on the next episode of the Simply Financial Podcast very soon.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of SagePoint Financial Incorporated and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of the information provided at these websites, nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through SagePoint Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management, LLC, not affiliated with SagePoint Financial.